Hey, I feel like you're like half out of frame. Get close to me.
I will get close to you.
Closer.
Okay. My sexy bedroom voice. Hey, this is Megan.
And Sue in the restricted section.
And this is Broads with Beer.
It is. And it might be perhaps controversial. I feel like not really.
Yeah, I feel like we have a like-minded group.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the election.
We're going to talk about the election.
Because why the fuck not?
Yeah.
It's on everyone's minds still.
It is.
It's been a few days, and it's still hard to process.
I'm still in shock. Yeah, it's still rough.
And we're drinking two different beers.
We are.
We thought they were fitting.
Thought they were
for
appropriate.
The topic. Mm-hmm. I have Founder's Dirty Bastard. Yeah.
And I have, what is this?
Stone.
Yeah, Stone Arrogant Bastard Ale.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And mine is a Scotch style ale, and it's going to be pretty intense. It's 8.5% alcohol by volume, which isn't terrible, but
but not bad. I don't know what kind of beer this is. It just says, this is an aggressive beer. You probably won't like it. It is quite doubtful that you have the taste or sophistication to be able to appreciate an ale of this quality and depth. So yeah, this is perfect for what we're doing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's try them.
Oh, that's happy as fuck.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Do you want to trade?
Taste it.
Yeah, that's very hoppy. That's got to be an IPA.
Yeah, let's trade.
Yeah, I'll drink this.
Okay.
I liked that too, though.
Yeah,
I like them. This one's very hoppy. Like it's kind of got a really bitter aftertaste. Like it's even a little intense for me.
It's a lot.
They were right.
They were right. They we're not fucking around.
Yeah, I'll drink it though. All right, so let's get into this.
Oh, let's do this.
Fucking Donald Trump is our fucking president.
Oh, that still turns my stomach.
It. I couldn't even believe that he was a candidate for presidency, let alone that he's our actual president now. He's a fucking reality TV show star.
He is. And, at first I could kind of believe the whole candidacy thing. Like, I could believe him, like, throwing his hat into the ring.
Well, he's done it before, hasn't he? But it's always been a joke.
Right, and so I didn't take him seriously.
No.
Which was, I think, my bad and
a
everyone
lot of
else's
people didn't
bad.
take him seriously.
Right, because apparently...
Can you two be quiet?
So, Donald Trump.
I don't even know what to think, really.
I am just completely horrified because, and honestly, two things. I'm really irritated with people who are like, you're just whining because your candidate didn't win.
It's way beyond being butthurt.
Yeah, fuck off.
If it
had been George Bush or Mitt Romney, I would have been disappointed.
Right.
But not fucking terrified.
Yeah.
So fuck off with that nonsense.
Yeah.
Secondly,
like I cried. I cried.
I was in
Donald
shambles. Like the entire next day, I cried on and off all day. Like I was a fucking train wreck. Mm-hmm. Like I am terrified because his entire campaign.
And I as a white woman, like I'm gonna be all right.
We're gonna be fine.
I mean, he's not gonna be great for women in general.
No.
Either.
No. But we have a degree of privilege that grants us a little bit of safety, whereas other people don't have that.
Right.
And that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But he hasn't, my thing is like and other people are also saying like, well, how bad is it really going to be? Like a president can only do so much. Yes, but he has a Republican Congress.
True. And also, I mean, honestly, I'm not convinced that everything he said is stuff that he actually believes.
Yeah.
And also, even from the things he said so far from being president, he's gone back on a lot of the things that he said. Right. So I feel like he's going to piss off the people that voted for him. But regardless of whether he actually ends up being as racist and xenophobic and all that as he presented himself, he already opened, even if he had lost, he already made it okay to be openly racist again.
Yeah. He gave those people a platform.
Yeah, and by him winning, it just validated them even further.
Right. Well,
but even if he had lost, I think he already started a shitstorm.
Oh yeah, he totally did. But like, it's heartbreaking to me that much of America is either on board with his like racist, misogynist, xenophobic shit, or they can just write it off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because I know that not everyone who voted for him is a racist.
Right.
Or any of that. Like,
Right.
I know that.
Right, same. But the fact that you can write it off.
Yeah, by writing it off, you're
complicit.
just kind of saying, like, well, I don't care.
Right, or you have a degree of privilege that you're not going to be affected by his racism, or you're not going to be affected by his misogyny or his xenophobia. Mm-hmm. So you have the privilege to be like, well, that's never going to affect me, so fuck it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not okay.
Yeah, and the amount of people who have literally been, like, terrified that he was elected president is just, like, heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's awful.
It's horrible.
Like, I don't think, if it had been another, you know, like you said, if it had been George Bush or Mitt Romney or even, like, Ted Cruz or something, people, again, like, disappointment, bummer, but people wouldn't have been, like, frightened for their lives.
People are frightened for their safety. They're frightened for their ability to remain in this country. They're frightened for their ability to marry the people they love. They're frightened for their ability to maintain body autonomy. Mm-hmm. I mean, these are really fucking major things, and to minimize them by saying, like, get over it, your candidate lost, that's fucked up.
Yeah. And it pisses me off that, like, he used, like, fear-mongering.
Oh my god.
His whole campaign was just inciting this, like, fear in people of Muslims, of Mexicans, of abortions. Like, people have late-term abortions. That, like, never happens.
Never. Another thing, too, is I've heard people say, I voted for him because he tells it like it is, which is complete and utter fucking bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Because
he's such a child. Like, he can't take criticism. Like, you don't want that as a quality in your president.
No. And
like, he's gonna have, like, the worst foreign relations.
He has nuclear codes. Like,
and the fact that Vladimir Putin is like, you guys made a good choice, means that we made the wrong choice.
Probably we should look at that.
He's a dictator.
Right? Like, that's not cool. But this man tweets hateful shit and, like, petty shit at 3 a.m.
childish
and he has nuclear codes. Like, this man is responsible for decisions that will affect my life.
Right.
And he's calling Jon Stewart a pussy on Twitter. Like, are you serious right now? This is our president.
I mean, just even the whole, like, grab him by the pussy thing was just disgusting to me.
Horrifying.
And I realize that he's probably not the first president to be a misogynist.
Right.
I'm sure he's not the first president to be a misogynist.
But this man is
holy fuck, he has no respect for women.
None whatsoever. And he has bragged repeatedly about sexually assaulting women. He is going to trial for sexually assaulting women. And this is the man we put. And this is heartbreaking to me, because what have we shown women in this country? You can be qualified as fuck. You can, be tough as fuck. And no, Hillary's not my favorite person, so I'm not like a diehard Hillary supporter,
No,
but
either.
she is qualified. She's a strong woman. So you can have that going for you, and yet someone with a penis is going to beat you, regardless of his lack of qualifications, regardless of his misogyny, regardless of all of this, because he's a man.
I don't think that's the only reason he won.
I don't either, but I think
that it was probably a factor for some people.
Yeah, and I think that the fact that people view a dishonest woman as being equally bad or worse than a racist, misogynist, xenophobic man.
And he was also dishonest.
Right.
He blatantly lied about so many things.
Things that he's on tape saying.
Yes. That never happened. It's right here, proof that you did it.
Because I can play it back for you.
He just denies, and people blindly believe him. And, I realize, too, that, like, if you're a Republican, you're only going to see positive things about the Republican candidate. And if you're a Democrat, you're only going to see positive things about the Democrat candidate and negative things about the
Right.
Like, I realize that. And if I'm looking at a source and it's, like, liberalsomething.com, then I'm not going to believe.
I'm going to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to blindly believe that, the same as if I wouldn't if it said, like, conservative, whatever.
Right.
You know, but I saw so many people on Facebook, which this is the thing about Facebook that pisses me off the most, is that people share shit from unreliable sources. They share shit when it's clear that they haven't actually read the article and they just saw the headline and was like, well, I'm outraged, share.
Right.
Well, this is fantastic, share. That pisses me off more than anything on Facebook. It's just this spreading of misinformation. And I have to, like, stop myself from going around being like,
actually, no.
Yeah, like a know-it-all. I mean, like, actually, if you do a 30-second Google search, you'll find that this isn't true.
Most people are set in their course. Like, people believe what they want to believe, and they're not going to be swayed. Like, it's very rare to find someone who's actually open-minded enough to look at things and say, okay, well, maybe...
Yeah.
You know, so most of the time, it's not going to matter anyway. If you're like, well, actually, here are the facts. People don't believe based on facts, unfortunately, and I see that more.
And it is so hard, though, to even know what the facts are, and especially with politics. Like, who knows? Who fucking knows?
Right. It's hard to know what the facts are, but like when someone is throwing in your face blatant hatred, the way that Donald Trump has done, that is indisputable. You are complicit in those beliefs.
And I understand, too, that, you know, people had their reasons for voting for him, and people had their reasons for disliking Hillary. I didn't love Hillary. No. I think Bernie Sanders should have been the Democratic...
And I would have voted for him gladly.
Yes, I would have very happily voted for Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Hillary, I voted for because I didn't want Trump to win.
Right.
Essentially. And, like, I love that there was a female candidate for presidency.
That was really cool.
But I did honestly hope that it was when there is the first female president, I hope it's someone that I really
believe in more.
Passionate about and that I really believe in them. And I didn't feel that way about Hillary. The DNC, I feel like fucked it up.
They did.
I don't know if Bernie would have beat Trump, but I think that he inspired passion in his followers same way that Trump did in his. Yeah. Hillary did not do that. No. I don't know many people that were really
super passionate
gung-ho about Hillary. Yeah. She was just kind of the lesser of two evils, which sucks.
Right. Well, and
we should have had better candidates.
We should have had better candidates because I hate that was the thing. Yeah. I'm going to vote for the lesser of two evils.
Yeah. So, and yes, there were third-party candidates. Right. But let's be real. That's never going to happen. There's really only two viable candidates.
And I hate that it came down to the lesser of two evils because in my mind they are not equal. They are not equally evil. Hillary's dishonest. She's a politician. Grow the fuck up. Most of them are. And it's not like Trump isn't dishonest. But when you equate, this dishonest woman who's got some flaws with this man who sexually abuses women, who hates minorities, that's not equal.
Who also is dishonest.
Who's also dishonest. Yeah. That is not equal at all. No. So to say,
and I'm how are either of them even viable candidates? Because I'm Hillary was under investigation by the FBI, and Trump was being accused of rape by a 13-year-old girl.
He has a court date in December.
Yeah, how are either of these even viable candidates for presidency? If I was on, going on trial for rape,
I couldn't even get a job in my chosen field.
Yeah. What the fuck?
No.
How is it okay for these people to even be presidential candidates? This whole election was fucked, in my opinion.
It was completely fucked. It was a fucked election, and it was incredibly divisive, and it fed off being divisive, especially Trump's whole campaign fed off of being divisive. And so now we're left with an incredibly divided America. We've got people we've got family members who won't talk to other family members because of who they voted for. And I'm not going to judge people.
Yeah, and I've got a lot of family members who voted for him because he was somehow the best Christian candidate. I don't understand how. How the fuck does Donald Trump represent Christian values? How? And
you know what? It all boils down to pro-life or pro-choice.
And that's just such a stupid
thing. Because
it's so stupid.
Because they're not pro-life. They're pro-birth.
Yeah.
Because they don't support funding for programs that are going to help these mothers raise these children.
And I also understand the whole not wanting the federal government to be as
active in your life.
Yeah, I get that.
But if you feel that way, why then should the federal government have a say in what you do with your body? Why then should the federal government have a say in who you marry? That's a fucking flawed argument.
Good points. And like also the Bible's 2,000 years old, okay? I think we need an update. The world has changed.
We're not Christians, in case you could tell.
Well, seriously though, you can't keep living off of a text that's 2,000 years old.
No.
The world is so different than it was then.
And the culture's different. I mean, you're talking about a completely different geographical area 2,000 years in the past. And I do believe that there are some, like, maybe lessons that could be taken from it, as in, like, love your neighbor.
Yeah, I think, I think that everything that Jesus stood for is great.
Right, that's solid.
But people don't go by that. I get why some people voted for Trump, and I don't think everyone who voted for Trump is a racist or xenophobic or all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of them are xenophobic, to be honest, because I think there's a fear. He inspired this fear in people of, like, terrorists. And I'm like, you know, most of these refugees are innocent people who are trying to get away from these terrorists.
Right.
You know, and we're denying them. Like, would Jesus do that? I don't think so.
Not. Yeah, and I honestly think a lot of it's rooted in sexism, but that's probably my own bias. But I just think...
Oh, I'm sure a good lot of it is.
Yeah. And
I even saw women saying, like, oh, a woman can't be president. I'm like, oh, honey. Oh, who told you that? I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. Well, I mean, now women probably can't even control what happens with their own bodies, so thanks for that.
You know, honestly, like, Mike Pence worries me a little bit more than even Trump does. Yeah. Because, like, I hope Trump doesn't get assassinated, because then Mike Pence is going to be our president.
Or impeached.
And he believes in the...
conversion therapy.
Yeah, conversion therapy.
I read something that, like, maybe that's not all the way true, but I don't know if I buy it. So. But I think he probably does believe in it. But that's abusive, and...
Yeah, definitely.
It's absolutely horrifying that you would subject human beings to that. It's abusive awful. And terrifying.
See, there's things like this that almost make me feel like Trump was trying to not get elected, because he just, like, he chose a very controversial vice VP, and then, like, I feel like he was trying to be, like, as ridiculous as possible.
I just think it worked. It worked. No, I think it was like arrogance.
Because now he's gonna have to, like, relinquish power on all of his businesses to, like, his kids and stuff. Like, do you think he really wants that? I don't know. Maybe he does.
I don't know. But what I also think is hilarious is he was known as, like, the anti-establishment president, and I have two things that make me think this is funny. Number one is, okay, maybe he's not a part of the political establishment, but he's part of the financial, like, he's a white male and he's in the upper echelon of incomes. Mm-hmm. Do you really think that's not an establishment?
Yeah.
Come the fuck on. And then also, have you seen who he's considering electing for his, like, cabinet? Yeah. It's all, like, standard fucking political people. Mm-hmm. So it's establishment people.
Yeah. And then also, like, I feel like he's gonna be a pushover on, like, I feel like he
doesn't know what he's doing.
I don't understand people who say they voted for him because of his policies, because I don't know what the fuck his policies were, because nothing he said ever made any sense.
No, it's just like, I got a plan, it's gonna be great.
Yeah,
it's gonna be amazing.
He never actually said anything. No. He never actually said what the plans were. And, like, I watched the debates, and he literally, a lot of times I was like, I don't even know what the fuck he's saying
Is
right
that
now.
English? Like, what is he, like, what is
and
happening?
He would, like,
is he having a stroke?
Would not answer questions.
Yes.
He would just, like, bring up, you know, ISIS.
Yeah.
The emails. And like, yeah, and then here's Hillary, who's sounding very, like, articulate and knows what she's talking about. And yes, I guess we did find out that she had been... or her campaign had been leaked, some of the questions, but I'm not convinced that Trump
know what you're gonna be asked.
Yeah,
like, come on.
Yeah, and I think either way she would have been more prepared than him anyway. Like, he seemed like he didn't even prepare at all. I'm like, did you even, like, think about this, or did you just be like, I'll wing it?
I think it's reckless arrogance. Like, I really do. I think it is complete reckless arrogance.
And it makes me so angry.
It makes me very angry.
He won. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Like, I'm terrified. I am angry. Yeah,
I don't know. And like the whole build a wall thing, I'm like, when has that ever worked in the history of the world? I'm pissed at like the DNC as well. Because like I said, like Bernie Sanders should have been the Democratic nominee for president. He should have been.
Yeah.
But they undermined him and made Hillary the candidate for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I guess because she was like sort of more benign, although she was controversial in a lot of ways.
I think
but she didn't really have much change in mind. I don't feel like.
No,
like
probably
she was just gonna like keep on with what Obama was doing.
Right. And so I feel like that's where a lot of people were like, well, I want something different. And so they voted for some reason, thought it was cool to vote for like, I want something different. Let's go with racism. I think I want racism.
And the thing that also worries me is like his complete denial of science.
This is a man who thinks that climate change is a trick being played on us by China.
What does it even mean? Like, we can observe that there's some climate change
happening.
Like, it's happening, but I feel like they're denying it because
it's inconvenient.
They make more money.
It's inconvenient
if they ignore it because then they can go on, depleting resources and stuff.
Right. They don't have to come up with any other creative solutions. Like it's inconvenient to recognize the impact we're having on this planet.
Yeah.
Just like it's inconvenient to recognize the impact that Donald Trump is having on women and minorities.
And the things that we think about Trump, a lot of them, not the racism thing, but like some of the things that we think about Trump are the same things that they were thinking about Hillary. And so it's just like this misinformation on both ends, I think, because it's hard to know what is an unbiased news source.
That's why it's important to know, do your research. Look at a variety of sources. Find sources that are nonpartisan.
Right.
And read those sources. Make sure that you're educating yourself and not just reading things that go along with your own confirmation bias.
But it also makes me angry that people voted for Trump because he was like the Christian candidate. And I'm like...
That's such bullshit.
It just makes me angry that people even would use that as a determining factor for who they're going to vote for. Because I'm like...
No one, does anyone think about separation of church and state at all?
I know, that's a thing.
That's a fucking thing. And I feel like America is not a Christian nation.
The Pilgrims came here to, escape the religious oppression, but they wanted to practice their own kind of Christianity.
Right.
But then they still, we still came in and, wiped out the Native Americans.
Right. We completely fucked over the Native Americans.
It's in a sense, it kind of is a Christian nation, but I feel like it evolved from there. Yeah. And, what it's supposed to be is it's supposed to be a melting pot. Bring me you're tired, you're
weary,
your huddled masses.
Yeah.
Whatever the Statue of Liberty says.
Which was a gift
Right. Your huddled masses yearning for freedom. That's it.
Yes. We're supposed to be a free nation.
Yeah, and we're supposed to take
in
immigrants and refugees. That's what we do.
And people of other religions and people
because that's what all of us are.
Right.
Every white person, every person who is not an actual Native American
is an immigrant.
Came here from somewhere else at some point. Their ancestors came here.
Whether legally or illegally, regardless.
Yeah. And so it's just pisses me off so much. People are like, we can't let in immigrants, we can't let in refugees. I'm like, well, I'm sure that your ancestors would have loved if, you know, that had been the case back when they came over here.
Right.
you know? Then you wouldn't fucking be here.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to talk about, so now that this is our reality, our reality is that Donald goddamn Trump is president-elect. So what can we do about it? What is it that we can do? And I think, like I said, educate yourself. Make sure that you vote in the midterm election. Make sure that you vote in 4 years. Make sure that you are an educated voter and you're not a one-issue voter. I think that you can stand with people who maybe feel alone and who feel alienated. Don't judge people based on how they choose to handle the reaction that this fuckstick is our president. No one is under any obligation to remain friends with anyone, to remain quiet about anything. So I think people who are saying don't delete family because of da-da-da, don't, go protest, don't blah, blah, blah. Don't judge people based on how they choose to handle this. This affects all of our lives differently, and I think people need to deal with this in their own way.
Yeah.
And also, I'm gonna be there for people who potentially might get fucked over. I'm gonna be there for my LGBTQ friends and loved ones, and I'm gonna fight for women's issues. And I signed up to volunteer at the GLOW Center, the Gay and Lesbian Center of the Ozarks. Hopefully they get in touch with me soon. And I also signed up to be updated on the status of Planned Parenthood, just if there are any volunteer opportunities or anything. I can't give money,
right,
but I can give my time.
Yeah.
And I can give my voice. So that's what I'm doing. Don't be quiet when you hear people getting put down or getting discriminated against.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think unfortunately that's going to happen a lot more now. People are going to be more vocal about their racism. So just, if you're a member of the LGBTQ, what other letters are there?
LGBTQ plus, I think, is
the LGBTQ plus community, or if you're someone of a different ethnicity, or someone from another country or another religion, just know that you have people here who support you and
who will back you up,
and who want you to be here.
Yeah.
So I want you to have the same rights that all the rest of us enjoy.
Definitely. And if you feel unsafe or if you feel uncomfortable, it's not much, but feel free to email us or reach out to us. We're here for you. Whatever that means, we're here for you, and we'll definitely stand up to any kind of discrimination or nonsense that we hear or see.
Yes. So thanks everyone for watching us rant for a long time. No hate in the comments, please. Dissenting opinions are okay. As long as they're respectful, please be respectful. We'll be respectful in return.
Yep. And if you want to subscribe to our channel,
do that.
Go ahead. Yeah. If you want to unsubscribe, goodbye.
Yeah. That's fine too.
That's all right. That's okay too.
Yeah, but that's gonna be it for us.
That'll be it for us.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.